happens when a video game that is based in horror and a mystery at the same time starts to lose its steam and literally starts to fall off the rails because of too much of everything that they put in it. Welcome to the video game review, Adventurous Ones, because on this episode we're going to talk about Poppy Playtime and why each chapter went from being something that was going good to suddenly going off the rails bad. Let's get started with this episode. Welcome back, Adventurous Ones, for a new episode of the Video Game Review. I am your host, as always, the master of all multiverses, and never going to be sorry for it whatsoever, because they've all been screwed up because of yours truly. In other universes, of course. Joseph Michaels, the Adventurous Joe, at your services. Now, it's been a long time since I've done video game reviews and stuff, but this one needs to be talked about, because it's Poppy Playtime. A game that started off so interesting that you're entering a toy factory apparently you used to work for and stuff. And this place is dilapidated, it's abandoned, and some strange stuff happened there that you don't know what happened there because you weren't there. Okay, or were you? So, here's how it goes. Poppy Playtime started off with Chapter 1, and you come back into this factory, this toy factory and stuff, and you find out things are not what they used to be. The place is a mess. It looks creepy as hell. Doors are still are all locked up and everything else in between. Okay, why would doors all be locked and stuff like that unless somebody was still around? Well, that's what the whole mystery is revolving around. It says in the start of the story, okay, that you receive a letter in the mail and stuff like a package, letter, whatever the hell exactly you call it, okay, and it states those employees that you left behind, they're still here, okay, and it shows this poppy flower, a drawing of a poppy flower, okay. We get to the factory, and we find out from the head of security, Leif Pierre, through a videotape, which that's the other thing too. This thing has videotapes. Not CDs, not DVDs or anything like that. Videotapes. This tells you how old this frickin' factory is. Okay, they have VHS tapes and VCRs laying around. Now, here's the other thing. The whole mystery revolves around you coming back to this factory that you used to work for, apparently, and finding out all these things that happened. Well, for one, toys are coming to life. This ain't Toy Story kind of thing. This ain't Night at the Museum kind of thing. This is toys are coming to life to kill you. Okay? And it starts off interesting because there's this one big blue guy called Huggy Wuggy, and he's in the main part of the factory in the first chapter. And once you encounter him for the first time, this sucker has razor sharp teeth. He's ready to munch your bones off of you and stuff, and everything else in between. You run like hell to avoid him. Get to this certain part of the factory, and apparently you take him out, and then find out there's this huge poppy flower painted on the wall. But then there's all these toys hanging by strings or ropes around the area. And I'm like, okay, this is some creepy ass shit. Okay, it almost feels like a cultist type of thing, but it's not. So, as the story progresses, it goes more and more into each chapter. But here's the thing. Chapter 1 started off great. It was just like, oh my god, this is awesome, you know. This is awesome. And the monster, Huggy Wuggy, is, whoa! I would not want to meet this guy in a dark alley kind of shit. Okay? But then it starts to go sideways. because Chapter 2 introduces a new monster toy called Mommy Longlegs. And boy, is she one creepy, off-the-walls, crazy person. Or toy, for that matter. Because she can stretch all the way out like that. Like, you know, without worrying about breaking limbs or anything else in between. And I'm like, holy God. You want to run from this woman. But she makes you play a game of hide and seek with her and stuff. Okay? And as she's pursuing you through the deeper into the factory and stuff, okay, you soon learn more about this character than you wanted to learn. And then it feels like a nightmare come true when you finally take her out. Because she's literally screaming in pain. This isn't like, you know, why did you did this to me, you evil son of a blah, blah, blah. No, it was screaming in pain, begging not to die, and everything else in between. And you're like, what the hell is going on around here? Okay. Then you find out, at the end of Chapter 2, you get betrayed by Poppy herself, who you helped free from her little glass case at the end of Chapter 1. And the story progresses from there. Now you go into the factory even deeper and find out there's this whole orphanage thing they set up. And I'm like, oh my God, what is going on with this thing? Okay, this is starting to get some Resident Evil shit vibes. Okay? But that's where it starts to go off the rails. Because now we learn about these things, these characters that were cuddle buddies or something like that. They were called exactly. Okay, little creatures that look like, one looks like a pig, one looks like a dog, and so on and so forth. Okay, and then there's the big one known as Catnap. Okay, Catnap is the main villain of the story for Chapter 3. And as it progresses, you find out more and more that people that worked for for Playtime Co. The game is called Poppy Playtime, but the actual factory is called Playtime Co. And in this factory, you find out more and more there was some horrific bullshit happening here. Okay? These orphan children that were being taken in and stuff like that, they were using them as experiments to see what the tolerance to pain they could go through, how much this they could go through, and so on and so forth. Then they were cutting them open, taking their brains and putting them in toys. And I was like, what the fuck? And that's exact words that came out of me. What the fuck? Now, the reason why I say the game might be failing at some point and stuff is because they started introducing other elements. Now, other elements meaning that they had Jacksepticeye in Chapter 2. Seriously. Just for this stupid thing of him on a television set that you play the VCA on the VHS tape of him being interviewed by Leif Pierre, and he's talking about how he saw something under the door that that's got 8 legs and all this other shit. And I was like, did they really need him in the game? Seriously, did they really need this big name YouTuber in the game? Now, the one thing that's bad about these companies, these independent companies that make these type of games, okay, they like to ass kiss with the big namers. Okay, so they'll give them the game for free, so they'll play it, try it out, and then see what's what from there. Now, here's the thing. They did this with FNAF in their live-action FNAF movie, and brought big-name YouTubers in that played FNAF. Did it help the movie succeed at being what it was supposed to? Hell no. They didn't even need these people in the frickin' movie. It was just like a short cameo for here to there, and especially Matt Pat. What the fuck was that about having Matt Pat in the damn movie? Oh, just so he could say, well, I guess it's just a theory, you know. I'm like, what the fuck? And then Corey Kenshin? Seriously, why did you have them in the movie? back on track. It's the point of video games like this. You don't need a big name YouTuber to be in it. Okay? Damn hair. You don't need a big name YouTuber in your game. Okay? You don't need a big name celebrity in your game. Okay? You're an independent gaming studio and stuff. Okay? You are making a horror game. Nobody's playing a horror game to see Jack fucking Septiceye in it. Jesus Christ. I cringed when that part came up and everybody else is just like reacting to it and going, oh, there's Sean, you know, there's Jacksepticeye. I'm sitting there cringing and going, why? Why did they do that? Did they really need to do that? They've already got other people that are not big name YouTubers and shit involved in the VHS tapes, live action parts talking and shit. Did they really need Jacksepticeye in the fucking game? The answer is no. His whole thing is just a meaningless whatsoever. Okay, you didn't even need him in the fucking thing. You could have had anyone do that part. But I guess it was because he's had to do his whole Irish thing, okay? You know, Irish talking thing and stuff. It's the thing of, did you really need him in it? Did you really need anyone from big name YouTubers in it? No. It was pointless, stupid, and then on top of that, they had Eli Roth in it too. What the fuck? Why Eli Roth? He's not even... He's a director. He's not an actor. Again, it made no fucking sense. Okay, and then as the stories progressed in after chapter 3, then you got chapter 4, then chapter 5. And chapter 5 is the one that everyone is up in arms over. Well, most people are. The big namers, they're kind of like a mixed bag kind of deal and shit. The point is, chapter 5 really screwed up the whole thing. And I mean really screwed up the whole thing. Okay, chapter 4 was already a mess because we're introduced to a walking, talking television set on legs, with arms and legs, that is called the Doctor. The Doctor apparently is the piece of shit human being before his own people betrayed him and put his mind inside that stupid computer system and shit. Okay? He's the one that was making these orphan children go through hell for his own diabolical experiments. Cliche bullshit, in other words. That's why I said it was getting very Resident Evil vibes going on and stuff. And then the whole progression thing going on, it was just too much like Resident Evil or any kind of horror-based video game out there that has to involve nonsense. Now, what turned me off on wanting to buy this frickin' game finally and stuff, because I was going to buy chapters 1 through 4. They're available now on PlayStation, okay? And I believe on Xbox as well. But, the point is, I was very interested in trying these games for myself till chapter 5 comes around. Chapter 5 screws everything up here. And I mean everything. We got the final big lead up to the big bad himself, the prototype. Okay? We are introduced to the prototype. And what does Mob Games do in this chapter? They totally fuck it. They totally fucked it up. Okay? What was the point in introducing our big bad finally of this whole fucking game only to have it end on a fucking cliffhanger? Seriously, on a fucking cliffhanger it ends with the whole, oh, the prototype didn't want us to have this certain thing and stuff, this data information and stuff like that. Okay, Turns out the data information is the doctor still in the damn system. What? The villain of Chapter 4 is going to be your fucking way of stopping the prototype. Oh! The minute Chapter 5 ended, and I watched Super Horror Bro Mike play it, I watched Markiplier play it, I watched frickin' other ones play it, including Jacksepticeye, okay? They all said the same damn thing. What the fuck was the point in introducing your prototype villain finally if you're just gonna screw the pooch by bringing in a villain that's supposedly dead from Chapter 4? And now he's the key to stopping the prototype, to rescuing Poppy, to doing this, to doing that. What the fuck, Mob Games? Seriously, what the actual fuck? You give us the big lead up, making us all think this is it, we're gonna see the end of this freaking game series. And instead you leave us on the stupidest cliffhanger imaginable. See, this is why big name YouTubers this is why big name YouTubers ass kiss, the companies will ass kiss with them and stuff and give them the free shit, because they're too afraid to ruin their little partnerships kind of deal and stuff. I'm not afraid to tell somebody your fucking shit is stupid or garbage for that matter. You had something really great, Mob Games. You had something really great going for you. And you screw the pooch with the most laziest fucking shit ever. Okay. Let's calm ourselves down and reevaluate. 1. Chapter 1 of Poppy Playtime started off great. Chapter 2 made us really want to be invested. Chapter 3 started to go a little along the lines of, what the fuck am I playing anymore? And then Chapter 4 comes along with the doctor and, Doey and all this other shit. And you're just like, seriously, what is this anymore? What is this? Okay, and then Chapter 5, they give us this nice trailer. Not revealing the prototype yet and stuff, but we're seeing parts of him now and everything else in between. And we're just like, ugh, they're introducing the big bad finally. He's going to be in it, He's going to finally be in it. We're going to get to see him full. Yeah, we got to see him, all right. Oh, we got to see him. And there was one hell of a neat boss battle for the whole thing and everything, too. But... Mob Games is lazy fucking shit screwed the pooch and ruined what could have been a perfect end to the game by ending it with a stupid fucking cliffhanger so they could get another chapter in another fucking year. Seriously, every one of these games took a year to get out there. Seriously, they take one whole year and maybe 3 months after that, okay, to get this next chapter ready. I sit back and I go, okay, I've seen how these games are played. I might want to try it for myself. Then I learned they were on PlayStation Store, and I was like, okay, when I get the money, I'll freaking buy all 4 chapters and stuff. But not after I saw how Chapter 5 turned out. This was complete and utter garbage. A waste of freaking resource, a waste of time to have even done it if you're not going to end it properly. I mean, the prototype even does something to the main character towards the end of the fucking chapter. And we don't know if it was him or her that was dropped into this fucking shit, this bat of freaking gooey shit or whatever that apparently will turn you into a toy. Okay? Or it was Poppy who was dropped into it, but it made no sense because we were seeing everything going on inside of it. Okay, while we were inside this gel. We were hearing Poppy's voice. We were hearing other voices and so on and so forth. Okay. Then you wake up still on the floor for where you got stabbed by the prototype. And the little dude that's with you and stuff, Gremlin, I think his name's Gremlin or something like that. Okay. He gets you up. He says, oh, good. Shocks you awake with this little cattle prod looking thing. Okay. And he says, oh, thank God you're alive and stuff like that. I thought we lost you there and stuff. And I was like, did he pull us out of that shit? Or were we never in it? And we were just thinking what the hell happened or seeing what the hell happened. Because it's the weirdest perspective. The camera from the POV is being dragged. Somebody's being dragged by the prototype to this fucking bat of shit. Okay? And dropped into it by the prototype. Okay, but then you're hearing the voices. You're still in the POV mode of hearing the voices, hearing everyone's voices. You hear Poppy's voice and so on and so forth. And then it comes down to, let's find out why the prototype is so hell-bent really, on trying to stop us from getting that secret information. Okay, this data control center thing or whatever. Okay, well, that's where it goes to hell. Because after a spectacular boss fight could have been the end of the fucking game, would have been awesome as hell, it ends that way on the most stupidest fucking way possible. In mob games, if I had a rubber hose, I'd beat all of you with it. Seriously, I would beat every one of you with a rubber hose. Okay? For this stupidness that you created for Chapter 5. Okay? And I'm telling you right now, this turned off a lot of people. I mean, even Markiplier, who is big on these freaking games and stuff, he was so happy Chapter 5 was done because he said it felt like a waste of time. Alright, so if a big name YouTuber like Markiplier is telling you it just felt like a waste of time to even play this chapter and stuff, okay, that's telling you something right there as the consumer who wanted to play this game is suddenly just turned off by it. Okay? Because Chapter 5 felt like an ending. More than it needed a cliffhanger and to it. Okay, it felt more like an ending. You're in the final battle with the big boss himself and shit, the prototype. You're freaking on a train trying to survive and everything else in between. You do everything in your power to stop the prototype. Okay, only to have them screw you over so they could get one more chapter out of it. And that's where everyone lost their cool or interest in the game. Even Super Horror Bro Mike, the biggest brown noser there is out there when it comes to these indie horror people, okay, or indie games of any kind, alright, he even said it didn't feel like it needed another chapter. He said it felt more like they rushed it to get it out there and then decided, oh, we don't know what to do with the ending. We don't know how to do this ending right, so let's make it a cliffhanger stupidity. And you know what? He's right. He was right. And so was Jacksepticeye. So was Markiplier. Okay? They were right. It felt wasted. It felt completely wasted. I mean, you've got your big bad finally in your game. You've got them fighting the main character in a final looking boss battle of all things. And what do, Mob Games? You fuck us over with a stupid ending. So you could, grease out one more fucking chapter that no one really asked for? Seriously, a lot of people said chapter 5 should have been its end. Okay? It should have been the ending right there. But instead, we get the most lamest setup for another chapter. It's terrible. It is absolutely terrible. Because it's kind of like if you're on a diet and you want this cake. You see this cake in front of you. It's so delicious looking and stuff. But you're trying to stick to your diet. Okay? It's tempting you. But it's also your willpower and your mind telling you, hey, you're trying to stick to a diet, don't touch the cake. The cake is a lie, so to speak. Okay? That's how this felt. That's how Poppy Playtime is feeling right now for a lot of people. There's people out there that loved it, but there's people out there that just sit back and go, what went wrong? Seriously, what went wrong? Well, we're telling you what went wrong. Rushed development, poor storyline, and seriously, what was the point in introducing a character who is your main bad guy? What was the point in introducing him in this chapter 5? And then have us do like a final boss battle kind of shit with him on a train of all things while we're trying to escape, and you only screw it over by Prototype taking Poppy, leaving you for dead, and then frickin' you find out the big info that could stop the Prototype is none other than the baddie main villain of chapter 4. That's how bad this is. That is how bad this game went. And that's why a lot of people right now are considering Poppy Playtime a failure. It fails at what it was meant to deliver. Okay? And that's why a lot of people will sit back, and some are sitting back and just saying now, I don't want to play the game. I don't think I ever want to play this game now. Okay? Because it's redundant bullshit that Mob Games did to this game. That it's their baby, but at the same time, they took the baby and dunked it in fucking boiling hot water rather than check to make sure that the water's just right. Okay? They broiled the bitch. Anyways, my final thoughts on this whole thing is, you can play the game if you want to, but for me, I'm turned off by it. I am literally done with Poppy Playtime. Okay? I care nothing else about it anymore. They do one more final chapter, and that ends up being the final fucking part of the game and stuff, then okay. It is what it is. But at the same time, it could have been done better had it not been so rushed. Anyways, let's hear your thoughts down in the comment section down below, Adventurous Ones. I'm sorry this was a very long one, and I'm sorry for all the ranting and raving too. Okay? And, again, you know, no shade towards Jacksepticeye or any of them and stuff like that, okay? It's the thing of, I just don't see the need for a big-name YouTuber to be thrown in a video game, or a movie for that matter, just to make people go, oh, I know them from YouTube. They're in this? It just feels redundantly dumb. It's kind of like if they someone came to me and says, hey, I want you in my video game. Can you shoot this little bit of, stuff for me, and I'll put you in this, we're going to show you on this recording or whatever. I'd have been like, why don't you just use someone of your own people, or just use my voice. You don't need to see me. And that's where it fails in things. It fails to have that redundancy of horror. It fails at having that redundancy of the mystery behind it all. So, let's hear your thoughts down in the comment section down below, Adventurous Ones. Love it or hate it? Is Poppy Playtime really considered a complete and utter failure? Or is it one of those that we sit back and say, well, it probably could be better if it's done right? Let's hear your thoughts down in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, leave your comments, and hit that bell notification so you don't miss on anything we have coming up on this channel in 2026. There's always more on the way. You never know what's going to be on the channel unless you hit the bell and set it to all. So, until the next video game review, peace out. May the force be with all of you. Every last one of y'all have a safe, lovely, and beautiful week out there. Take care of yourselves, your family, your friends, your pets, loved ones in general. Be smart out there, people. Don't do stupid shit, and don't listen to stupid idiots either. They're going to get you badly hurt, or even worse, taken out of life forever, okay? You have brains in your heads, people. Use them. Use them wisely. Get home safely to the people that love and care about you the most, alright? And every single chance you have, you let them know how much you love and care for them in return. Because there are no second chances anymore, and we don't live in safe times either. So use every chance you have wisely. Until then, take care. God bless to all of you out there. Please, remain safe. And we'll see you all later.